From viral memes to secret hidden messages, Fortnite has added hundreds of references from The Simpsons into the map. But what I want to know is, how accurate is it? How many details and Easter eggs did Fortnite add, and are there any locations that are perfect? Today, I'm ranking every Simpsons POI in Fortnite by how detailed they are, on a tier list from Fortnite Absolutely Cooked to Holy Airball. My goal is to figure out just what the most accurate location in Fortnite really is. And first up on our list is Cletus's cornhole.
This avocado just gave me a wedding ring.
Now, I thought this one was going to be a complete airball because the house in Fortnite looks nothing like Cletus's shack, but what a lot of people don't realize is his shack is all the way over here. The entire rest of this location is actually a reference to an episode where the Simpsons became farmers. When you jump off the bus, you can see a green cloud hovering over the POI, and this is coming from the radioactive tomato fields, a direct reference from when Homer uses plutonium to try and help save his failing crops.
Are you sure this is safe?
Of course not.
In the front of some houses, you can find these bags filled with seeds, which also comes right out of the show, along with horses' skeletons and a flipped over tractor, which doesn't really need explanation. The only difference in the location is that Fortnite added a lot of extra buildings, whereas the show doesn't have that many. So I can't say it's a spitting image to the show, but it is definitely cool. Next up, we got one of the most popular POIs of the season.
Whoa, that was close.
The Donut District. In game, we of course have the iconic mascot of the boy holding the giant donut, which is detachable. This is a direct reference to the episode where Homer steals it for himself. Surrounding the shop, there's a lot of unnamed buildings, which would sort of be the case for The Simpsons, but right down the street is the police station. Inside, you can see wanted signs with pictures of Sideshow Bob and Fat Tony, some of Springfield's most notorious criminals. But Ralphie, who's Chief Wiggum's son, also made it on the board somehow. And speaking of Chief Wiggum, you can find this on the computer, a crazy niche Easter egg to the Chief's way of catching crime.
If you've committed a crime and you want to confess, click yes. Otherwise, click no. You have chosen no, meaning you've committed a crime but don't want to confess.
Hey!
I really love this POI, but in the show, these locations are nowhere near each other, so while I can't say it's a one-to-one, I see the vision Fortnite had putting the police station next to the donut shop. It just makes sense. But something cool about Lard Lad's Donuts is they've actually made the location in real life where you can go and get a giant pink donut. This is definitely on my bucket list, and speaking of real life, I just made an IRL channel and my first video is about to go live. I'll put a link in the description if you want to check it out after, but first let's move on to the next location, the Springfield Nuclear Power Plant. And at first glance, this looks nearly identical to the show. Even when it was Steamy Stacks, this place had always resembled the power plant from The Simpsons, but now it's finally the real thing. Inside, you can find Homer's control panel with, of course, a bunch of donuts. But what a lot of people don't know is there's actually a door underneath labeled Top Secret. This is a nod to Homer's emergency donut spot. Land here in game and you can prevent a meltdown from happening, but only by choosing the buttons in the pattern Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo. This comes right out of the episode where Homer saves the day by straight up guessing. But what I really wanted to see here was Mr. Burns' famous trapdoor. And if you go inside this building right here, you can find his office with the booby trap right on the floor. These are the kind of details that land locations in the top tier. Fortnite absolutely cooked with this one. I love it. But moving on, we got Kamp Krusty. There aren't too many references to this place in the show. It's literally only ever been featured in one episode. But by the looks of it, Fortnite managed to add a ton of details. You can find these log seats and a TV, which is exactly where Mr. Black spoke at the camp. And you can also find barrels of imitation gruel, which is the nasty food that the kids were forced to eat there. Because it was so bad, Bart tried to overthrow the place, raising his flag Camp Bart. And if you capture the flag in Fortnite, you'll see it changes just like it did in the show. Considering Fortnite didn't have much to work with, they were still able to create this whole POI, and they absolutely cooked. Our next location is Burns Mansion. Starting in the front, the way it looks in Fortnite is identical to the show. Going to the back, however, is where things become weird, because in the TV series, Mr. Burns' backyard is hardly ever shown. This oddly designed yard comes from somewhere though, and you might even recognize it from none other than The Simpsons Road Rage, a video game on The Simpsons that came out a while ago. So technically, the backyard is still coming from a part of The Simpsons, but moving inside, we can see the bedroom with a rope to call for Smithers. Smithers is Mr. Burns' assistant, and this reference comes from the time Homer was impersonating him. All around the property, you can see statues of Burns from the episode The Great Fatsby, where of course he throws a giant party. While this location isn't a one-to-one, it is still super cool, and Fortnite did not disappoint. Almost as cool as Bart from this one clip.
I never thought I'd say this, but
GUNZY is such a good YouTuber.
say the line, Bart!
Click that subscribe button. Next up, we got Corruption Corner. Now, I gotta admit the town hall looks really good, inside and out. However, there's a freaking burger across the street, and that's just immediately killing the vibe. I understand Fortnite wanted to include themselves, but even if it wasn't in the game, there's a few other buildings around, and one of them is a bar. A bar that isn't Moe's. I don't even think that exists in Springfield. It's only Moe's. As much as I would love to love this, it's just not great. But moving on, we got the Springfield Town Square, and this one's gonna be interesting. Here in Fortnite is the home of so many iconic places, with the first one being the Aztec Theatre. Zooming out, we can see this building is in the town square, so that's accurate. But zooming in, we can see movie posters that are all parodies of real movies, just with Fortnite references and Simpsons art, like Vindicator's Crystal War, which is obviously the Avengers, and my personal favorite, Revenge of the Coral Buddies. Next, we got the Krusty Burger, and this looks so good. Fortnite added meals and drinks inside, and even added the entire menu from the actual restaurant in the show. Insane detail. Then we have the Kiwk-E-Mart, which also looks really good in game, but going inside we can see so many secret references. My favorite is Stabios, from the time Itchy and Scratchy aired a dark television ad for a twisted take on Lucky Charms. The comic book store also looks really good from the outside, but the real gems are on the inside. Take a look to the left of the case and you can see Han Solo's blaster, a nod to the comic book guy's love for the intergalactic lore. Plus, you can find Krusty the Clown absolutely bricked up. The back wall includes the Band for Life list with Sideshow Bob, who we saw earlier, Nelson, Barton Milhouse, and Matt Groening, the creator of The Simpsons. You can also find tons of Radioactive Man references, which is Bart's favorite superhero. Moving on, we got Moe's, and I mean this looks straight out of Springfield. Inside, we can find 4 photos of iconic moments of the guys, like them dressed up in their baseball uniforms, their bowling uniforms, their old school doo-wop uniforms, and of course, one of them at Moe's. But what no one seems to be talking about are the images across from the bar. These black and white photos show Moe in some sort of military attire. They've only been seen a handful of times in the series, and the true story still remains unknown. Of course, we have the phone, and if you walk up to it, you can hear Bart make his infamous prank calls to Moe.
Flaming Moe's.
Yes, I'm looking for a friend of mine. Last name Jazz, first name Hugh.
Hold on, I'll check. Hugh Jazz! No, somebody check the men's room for a Hugh Jazz.
I'm Hugh Jazz.
Telephone.
Hello, this is Hugh Jazz.
Hi.
Who's this?
Bart Simpson?
What can I do for you, Bart?
Look, I'll level with you, mister. This is a crank call that sort of backfired, and I'd like to bail out right now.
All right. Better luck next time. What a nice young man.
The building to the right of Moe's is King Toots music store, and for the majority of time, this is lore accurate. There are a couple episodes where the building next to Moe's is different, but for the most part, it looks pretty good. In the show, we can see some of these locations aren't actually in the town square, but to be honest, combining them all in one space makes it feel like you're literally in the show, and I think it's safe to say that Fortnite absolutely cooked it. Second to last is Springfield Slurpworks. While it's obvious this is a complete spin-off of Duff Brewery, there's a lot of hidden details that might not be so obvious. Like how there's 3 bats labeled Slurp, Slurp Diet, and Slurp Zero, but they're all leading to the same pipe. This is a reference to the brewery doing the same thing with their beer. It's all the same. In one of the buildings at Slurpworks, you can find 3 animal statues with the middle one named Suds McSlurp. This is a reference to the time Santa's little helper becomes Duff's new mascot, known as Suds McDuff. Fortnite was able to add their own spin on this location and still kept it really cool. They did not disappoint. But finally, the most anticipated location of all, Evergreen Terrace. I cannot wait to go through the house, but before we do, we gotta talk about Ned Flanders' house. Going inside, we can see rooms like the kitchen and dining room look really similar, but what I want to talk about most is upstairs in Ned's room. Above his bed, you can find this image of Edna Krabappel. Edna was Bart's 4th grade teacher and went on to be Ned's lover. Unfortunately though, in 2013, the voice actor for Edna, Maria Wallace, ended up passing away due to cancer. The entire cast was so saddened by this that they fully removed her character from the show. And to remember her, you can see many portraits of Edna throughout Ned's house. It's very sweet. And speaking of sweet, go into the Simpsons house and you can find this baby photo of Bart, which is actually in the show. I could talk about the references in this house for hours, like the footprints on the ceiling from the viral Spider Pig moment.
Spider Pig, does whatever a Spider Pig does. Can he swing from a web? No, he can't. He's a pig.
Or the calendar on the fridge marking the exact day the very first episode of The Simpsons was released. But some Easter eggs I don't see anyone talking about is the time Homer tried to baby-proof the outlets.
But I'll just draw bunny faces on them to scare Maggie away.
She's not afraid of bunnies.
She will be.
Fortnite added that to the game. It's such an insanely small detail, but it makes walking around these houses so much more special. They even added the rumpus room, something that's only been seen in the show just a handful of times. Overall, regardless of how detailed each of these locations are, this has got to be one of the coolest seasons of all time. If this video gets 1,000 likes, I'll make a video on all the hidden details on the map, including the unnamed locations. But until then, go have fun. Use code GUNZY when grabbing new skins, and enjoy the season while it lasts, because that's what it's all about.